Welcome to 5 Good Minutes.
You're listening to today's inspirational message on the book of 1 Thessalonians
with Brady Randall.
We're continuing today in chapter 3, where we're looking at some tangible ways that God uses to strengthen the faith of his people. And today we're looking at how God uses life change to do just that. 1 Thessalonians 3, verses 7 to 9 read like this: "Therefore, brothers and sisters, in all of our distress and persecution, we were encouraged about you because of your faith. For now we really live, since you are standing firm in the Lord. How can we thank God enough for you in return for all the joy that we have in the presence of our God because of you?" Paul was so encouraged to hear about their faith. And you and I know this to be true, that it can be very discouraging when you don't see the results in something. When you give input, you expect output. When you make an investment, you want to see a good return. And I don't care if that's in finances, sports, exercise, parenting. When you put in time, sweat, blood, and tears, and you don't get anything back, it's very discouraging. Almost all of us have probably tried at one time or another to go on an exercise or weight loss routine before. And it's a sacrifice not to eat the way that you used to eat, to go without sugary desserts. It's a sacrifice to get on the treadmill or to move muscles in ways that you haven't for a while. It's painful. And we might experience hunger pains. And if you do it for a while and you start to see results so you can keep going. But if you don't, it's extremely difficult to keep going, to keep fighting, to keep pushing through. And I would say that this is especially true when it comes to making an investment in another person. And my guess is you've invested in someone else before. This can be a coworker that you are trying to train. Certainly this happens in the realm of parenting, coaching, being a mentor, or at the very least, even as you've poured into another friend of yours. But in our passage today, Paul, I think, is really referring to the process of discipleship, pouring into the life of another, making someone a follower of Jesus, teaching and showing someone what it looks like to be a fully devoted follower of Jesus. And maybe throughout your life, someone has tried to do that with you. This can be slow, hard work. And maybe you felt like quitting because you haven't seen any real fruit when it comes to your walk with Jesus or your investigation of who Jesus is. Or maybe you've tried to invest in someone else and you haven't seen the fruit of it. Can I encourage you, if someone is investing in you or you've been investing in someone else in this way, don't give up. What gave Paul hope in this was his waiting and getting the reports that life change and transformation is not only possible, but it was happening. Paul was encouraged by hearing of their faith, and it gave him joy to keep going, to not give up. There's nothing in this world like seeing someone come to faith in Jesus or to take another step towards him, to see seeds taking root or fruit coming into existence. Charles Bridges was a preacher and a theologian of another generation, and he said this about the timing and pace of how this often works. Present success is not always visible. There may be solid work advancing underground. The seed that produces the heaviest grain lies the longest in the earth. We are not always the best judge of the results of our ministry. And so sometimes it takes longer than we would hope. Some of us would like to have been farther along in our relationship with Jesus by now, but God promises that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. So I want to encourage you, would you ask God today to bring about transformation in yourself and in those you love and care about? God delights in doing just that. And he delights in having you and I play a role in that. Some people plant, some water, but it's ultimately God who makes people grow, bringing about life-changing and eternity-altering transformation.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.